We finally got an update on Brock Lesnar since Summerslam, so let's see what that's all about. We will also look at what is going on with The Miz, Carmelo Hayes, and others. To start, Brock Lesnar has a significant new plot development going on for him. Everyone was shocked when Brock came back to SummerSlam. Everyone wanted to know how they would keep the momentum of that return going and if Brock would be Cena's opponent at Clash in Paris. But that wasn't the case. After SummerSlam, Brock didn't show up right away. It was then confirmed that Logan Paul would be John Cena's opponent at the Premium Live event in September. The only thing that has happened in the Brock and Cena tale since SummerSlam is that Cena was on the mic and told Brock he could come get some whenever he wanted. And outside that, things have been relatively radio silence for Brock Lesnar vs. John Cena, but the August 22nd edition of SmackDown delivered a major clue that Brock's return to the blue brand in WWE television is extremely close to taking place after the credits. You could see John Cena leaving the arena for SmackDown. Nick Aldis stops him and tells him that he just got a message from Brock Lesnar and talked to him. But just as Nick Aldis is about to give that message and information to John Cena, Logan Paul shows up out of nowhere and knocks him out cold. Nick Aldis doesn't get to give the message from Brock Lesnar, so he has to focus on getting medical help for John Cena as the show ends. The Brock message was just a tiny teaser to persuade viewers to keep watching over the next few weeks to find out what it was. Some people aren't lovers of cliffhanger endings, but in this circumstance it was extremely pleasant and the perfect finale to SmackDown that gives you something significant to be excited about in the coming weeks. So in terms for WWE, cliffhanger endings seem to be a great thing. It gives the viewers a verified feeling of direction of what to expect in the near future, and that's exactly what this August 22nd cliffhanger did here. Now going into the August 29th edition of SmackDown, we already know that Nick Aldis has this intel that he obtained from Brock Lesnar, so that gives us, the viewers, something to be invested in and want to know, and John Cena is slated to arrive on the August 29th edition of SmackDown. So Nick Aldis could maybe give that message here to John Cena regarding what Brock had to say. As far as conjecture regarding what Brock Lesnar's message to Nick Aldis could be about, it could potentially be a range of things. Maybe Brock confirmed the precise date to Nick Aldis that he plans on heading out to SmackDown to pay John Cena a visit, or just destroy Havoc in general, or maybe Brock wanted to meet John Cena in a match. And that's what he spoke with Nick Aldis about. The specific context of Brock's message is unknown at the time of this recording, but you just get the impression that the message had to entail something along those lines. It's been extensively publicized that Brock Lesnar vs. John Cena will take place on September 20th. So maybe it may be part of the message that Nick Aldis was trying to deliver to John Cena before Logan Paul interrupted. As far as confirmed appearances for Brock Lesnar goes, he's presently being advertised for 2 episodes of SmackDown in September, which are September 12th and September 19th. The funny thing is that John Cena himself is presently not being advertised for those 2 editions of SmackDown, which does make it seem a bit improbable that we'll see any face-to-face interactions between Brock Lesnar and John Cena prior to their September 20th encounter. A date to circle on the calendar though could be September 5th. That's presently John Cena's last scheduled SmackDown appearance before the September 20th event. So if Brock Lesnar makes a surprise appearance on the September 5th edition of SmackDown, that could end up being a face-to-face moment with John Cena ahead of their match together. John Cena is also scheduled for the September 15th edition of Raw. That would be another opportunity for a surprise Brock appearance for a face-to-face moment, so it's a little questionable on why they booked John Cena and Brock Lesnar on separate shows all throughout the month of September, when it would have been nice to see them directly interacting with each other and building that story and program together. But all hope isn't lost quite yet. Maybe one of them could surprise the other during one of those dates and still give us some face-to-face build-up. So that appears to be how the calendar is setting up for John Cena. He will battle Logan Paul on August 31st and then immediately move fully into the feud with Brock Lesnar throughout the month of September, and then John Cena's tale with Brock will finish on September 20th with the singles match. Another item that has been circulating is that there's supposedly a division amongst the higher-ups for when it comes to who should win this final bout between Brock Lesnar and John Cena. There's supposedly some people that feel Brock Lesnar cannot lose his first match back in over 2 years, but also fans that say John Cena shouldn't really suffer a significant loss this late in the farewell tour, especially since he just lost to Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam. So there seems to be a large difference there for when it comes to who should win that match. So the result should definitely be intriguing. Brock Lesnar may not physically be on the August 29th edition of SmackDown, but it absolutely seems like we could get the reveal of what Brock Lesnar said to Nick Aldis during that episode of SmackDown, because Nick has the intel. So certainly look for that to come up during John Cena's segment on that edition of SmackDown, following a few spell of being off television and following a fan movement for him on social media. Carmelo Hayes is back on SmackDown with a sense of direction and story after randomly splitting up The Miz and Carmelo Hayes a while back. They decided to put the Mellow Miz team back together, but this time around, there's a big narrative going on, and it's the fact that The Miz and Carmelo Hayes are winning matches. But they're not on the same page because The Miz is using Carmelo and taking the spotlight. We witnessed that in their tag team bout together from a few weeks back, where the audience was hot for Carmelo and chanting for him. But The Miz would randomly tag in and out of the match to break Carmelo's flow and irritate the crowd. Carmelo does all the hard work and explosive maneuvers, while The Miz comes in to basically do cleaning duty and take the glory from Carmelo. It's a narrative that's supposed to cast The Miz as the villain and actually generate some fan sympathy for Carmelo Hayes, leaning Carmelo more towards a future babyface turn. The August 22nd SmackDown Ireland crowd really went against that notion. They were absolutely losing their minds for The Miz and enjoying everything he did to screw off Carmelo Hayes. But until this story truly fleshes out, typical weekly crowd should undoubtedly be heavily for Carmelo Hayes and fully against The Miz. It seems dubious that The Miz will continue to tremendously cheered like he was in Dublin. Clearly appears to be a one-time phenomenon that happened there, and Carmelo will still be the babyface of the slow-burning tag team split. They're really hyping up this new singles run and babyface turn for Carmelo Hayes, so hopefully they do have a plan for him in mind. Carmelo has been expressing a lot of interest in coming after the United States Championship as of late, so that could be the option for him if the separation from The Miz is finalized. A babyface Carmelo versus the heel United States Champion Solo Sikoa does seem like the perfect matchup to get supporters behind Carmelo even more. So big things appear to be coming for Carmelo Hayes, and that's nice to see. But what are your opinions on today's stories? Leave your thoughts below. Don't forget to subscribe with all alerts on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.